Welcome into the blockchain basement, my wonderful crypto degens. I'm the Druth, and today we're going to be talking about an unsung hero in the crypto space. Yes, that's right. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive and a refresher look at one of my favorite projects, which is Avalanche. Before we get into this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We're coming up at 72,700 subscribers, cooking with gasoline, on our way to 100K. And also make sure that you are following me on X. This is where you can follow all my shenanigans and my trolling of psychopaths at Druth Crypto. Now, as the Bitcoin market ranges here, edges us, trying to break out above the $101,000 fib level, I'm going to take a refresher look at one of my favorite projects, which is Avalanche. Currently sitting at $26.89 as of the time of this recording. We know things move fast in the crypto markets. This number could be different by a few degrees by the time it makes it to you. But at large, what I'm looking at is blue balls on alt season, and we have not taken off yet, but this could be an amazing time for opportunity. As I'm seeing here, the sell-off moment for AVAX held strongly at $19.50, and recently it has held above that level. If you take a closer look, the sell-off event for AVAX only brought it down to $22.70. So why the hell is Avalanche acting so bullishly while other altcoins completely fell beyond those original, while other altcoins we saw fell well below those original support lines? Well, there might be a sneaky reason for this, folks. Let's take a look here. Following Avalanche on X at AVAX, they consistently post, but they really haven't done too much major marketing. They're consistently posting, but they're only getting like 378 likes. This one coming down here, 600 likes. You would expect way more likes hitting for one of crypto's top chains. Another surprising thing about Avalanche is that they don't really brag about this insanely successful off-the-grid game, which is on Avalanche, and it seems like people are enjoying. It's a first-person shooter game, and we've seen a lot of games fail big when it comes to trying to integrate crypto. Off the Grid has done no such thing. They're seemingly coming across massive success, and it continues to grow. Another thing that everyone seems to have forgotten, myself included, is the hyper bullish news that the California DMV launched its own chain on Avalanche to modernize the vehicle title transfer experience for California's 39 million residents. This is actually a really big thing to come to crypto that we just kind of have been taken for granted. Now we go into the major upgrades that Avalanche has recently undertaken. On December 16th, the Avalanche 9000 upgrade, the largest network upgrade in Avalanche's entire history. This reduced the chain deployment cost by 99.9%, making it more accessible for developers to create these custom layer 1 blockchains. Also lowered transaction fees by 25x, absolutely insane upgrade, enhanced cross-chain interoperability, and introduced a fixed supply of 720 million AVAX with a mint burn schedule. On top of that, the funding has been looking good as well. In December, Avalanche raised another $250 million. So why the hell are we not already to the moon, folks? Well, let's take a closer look in. I don't think people have been really paying attention to the vice president's bags. They've been so focused on Trump. JD Vance is a proud owner of Avalanche. We've been so focused on Trump's bags with Chainlink, Ondo, Aave, Athena, all these wonderful things that World Liberty Fi has been stacking. The altcoin maxi actions of JD Vance have been kind of overshadowed, but you're darn right, JD Vance is going to keep Avalanche in that conversation for this crypto oversight coalition. So now we look at the overall price, and looking at this on the month, honestly, this looks like a shelf being built with a move back to the upside without any major black swan event to cook us down to lower levels. In general, this price looks like it's gearing up for its next big leg up. But there is a weakness that we have to acknowledge within Avalanche, which is that it has not really tapped DeFi yet. Here is DeFi Llama showing the total value locked on Avalanche, currently sitting at $1.3 billion, but the holders have been holding very strong. Check this out. So the blue line is the total value locked currently on Avalanche's ecosystem. Then we want to tap in the price to see if there's any arbitrage opportunity currently. We see something very interesting, that the price is actually well above. We see something very interesting here. The price is actually pretty well above where the total value locked is currently sitting. This does not mean that Avalanche will not be able to tap into the DeFi sector, but the moment that it does tap into that DeFi sector, some really amazing things actually might happen for Chainlink, even above and beyond the Department of Motor Vehicles in California moving to test out their transactions on it, but also gaming. Avalanche is the closest token that I hold in terms of having access to gaming's upswing potential, which I do think is there. It's just got to be done in a more concise manner, and I've seen a lot of success out of Off the Grid, so I'm feeling comfortable with that. But the moment that we see any sort of life come back to additionally the DeFi sector on Avalanche, that's where the hyper bull scenario comes into play. So now let's talk about what does it mean in terms of our bags. How high can Avalanche go in this altcoin cycle? Avalanche is currently sitting at $11 billion market cap. Nearly all the tokens are out. It's at 411 million tokens in circulation and a total supply of 450 million Avalanche. So we hop on over here to Coin Perspective and punch some numbers in. Now looking at this, we go down, we scroll down to where Avalanche is currently sitting. It's number 13. It's been flip-flopping between number 13, 12, and 11 between Chainlink, Sui, and Avalanche. So let's just do a mid-range, hold the line type price prediction for Avalanche if it holds its position it's got right now. By the historical velocity of the markets, if Avalanche should hold this position at number 13 in terms of size of market cap, in my opinion, that's going to bring the market cap valuation to right around $120 to $130 billion at the peak of this altcoin cycle. It is my opinion that the tokens that are in this top 10 range, which is currently held by Tron, Cardano, and Dogecoin, I believe that the top 10 is going to be made up of 200 billion on up. So we hop on over to your Coin Perspective. We cooked this number up of circulating supply to 419 million AVAX circulating, and we input a custom market cap of $131 billion. That brings me to a honestly shocking number to revisit. I know I've looked at this in the past and seen this number, and this is generally where I saw it going, but I've been so distracted with everything going on in Base and Solana ecosystems making money there, and I still do hold Avalanche. Took a ton of profits when it hit $50, $52, but that brings the price to $312 a unit, or an 11x from where it currently sits right now. So now let's look at a more dampened cycle top for Avalanche. Let's say that Avalanche slides down to say number 20, which I do believe it'll hold within the 20 to top 10 in this cycle reasonably. And in my opinion, the top 20 is going to be made up of $80 billion to $180 billion. Quite a discrepancy, but the top 20 are much more spread out, and money starts to get consolidated in the top 10 in a much heavier way. So let's cook it down to an $80 billion market cap. That brings the price to a juicy $182 a unit, or a 576% pump. That's not a bad gain. That is not a bad gain for having a bearish outlook for its, and this is talking about Avalanche losing value share compared to the other ecosystems. Now let's cook it up to the hyper bullish scenario where Avalanche breaks into the top 10, takes the number 10 spot, and accomplishes a $200 billion market cap. Well, that brings you to a $479 per unit price level, or a flat out 17x, and that is what makes me erect at night.
I am currently rock hard!
So there you have it. There is actually some really bullish potential for Avalanche right now, and I still do currently hold some tokens. Shame on me for getting so distracted on everything else that's budding, but it's been really fun, and there's been some great gains had on Morpho and Ondo and all these wonderful things. But looking at the price right now, not a horrible time for me to stack a little bit more into the portfolio for the amazing times ahead. I am of the opinion that a lot of people are not pricing in peace talks for Ukraine and Russia. I also believe that this monetary system as it sits right now is addicted to quantitative easing, and regardless of how hawkish Jerome Powell would like to act, there is no choice but to print as emergency funding loans are due back to the Treasury in a month from now. So with this information, I hope you enjoyed the alpha, and I hope that you're locked in for an amazing time in the bull market. Make sure to support the channel. Trade with us on BTCC right there. We have a link down in the description, and also utilize our ultimate power of cold storage. I keep my Avalanche on an Arculus cold storage wallet. You can pick up one of these using code BASE10. Pick yourselves up one of these using code BASE10 for 10% off at checkout, and keep your crypto off of exchanges, folks. I love and appreciate every single one of you for supporting our channel and seeing us rise to nearly 100,000 subscribers. We have such a bright future ahead of us, and I cannot wait to see where this market takes us. Until next time, Truth out.